We're going to run about 20 minutes on this panel for this ICO exercise. The purpose of this is to talk about data and AI. We're going to talk about protection, applications of machine learning and neural, and just kind of drill into it a bit. Each company will be given about 2 minutes to introduce themselves, let you know what their thesis is, what they're about, what they're trying to accomplish. And without further ado, we're just going to invite the teams on stage. Can I get Michael Hathaway from Windmill to come up, please? Michael, good afternoon.
Thank you.
Please grab a seat. There we go. Can I get Bitfence to come up, please? There we go. Go. There you go. Thanks so much. Vlad?
Thank you.
Grab a seat. And then I'll just hit the other side. Can I get Sky to get up here, please? Is Sky here?
That's me, right? So I'll be here as well.
Pleasure. Tereshkov, grab a seat. Get yourself up here from Cypherium. There we go. Can I get Oxford to come up, please? Urban? Smyrniotis, nice to see you. Grab a seat. Thank you. And finally, can I have W12 make us roll up? Oleg Sharpatiy? There we go. Thank you. Big round of applause. Thank you very much. Gentlemen, you're all mic'd up, so we're going to basically put up your slide one at a time. We're going to start with Windmill. And you got 2 minutes to introduce your company. Floor is yours. You can just keep talking. Go right ahead.
Hello, gang. Hate to disappoint, but we're not doing an ICO.
Woo!
We are doing a token generation event instead. Disappoint you again, we're not deploying a blockchain. We're a blockchain agnostic enterprise platform. So a little bit about where we're at. We've completed our seed round with accredited investors, and at the end of June, we will be doing our private sale. We are launching our platform at the same time that we're generating tokens. So we're trying to dance the tricky SEC dance. So we're issuing tokens when there is actually a product for enterprise customers to use them for. At launch, we're generating tokens, cash, and open source software, and we're endowing it to a 501c3 US-based nonprofit, which will function in a very unique manner as an open source foundation that will provide ongoing support for development and oversight and governance for a network, a trust network for enterprises to use services offered to them on that network. The token that we'll be issuing has uses for securing identities, because we're creating a trusted network where you can register identities. It can be used for services, as well as for developer incentives. So we're looking forward to launching next month, and looking forward to your participation and working with us to make this a great success. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Michael. Can I get Vlad from Bitfence to stand up and give us a little bit of information on your company, please?
Hello, everyone. My name is Vlad. I'm from Bitfence, and I want to present you a cybersecurity company that our goal is, and our motto is to remove hackers from your network. What we do, we proactively identify malicious actors in the network and distribute this information to our subscribers over the blockchain. I'm not following exactly the bullet points, hacking is a big problem right now. Everyone, enterprise customers, home users, blockchain users are getting hacked, and tokens are getting stolen, accounts compromised. What can be done about that? The threat scales really fast, and so the resistance should do. We invented a system that actually incentivizes people to run basically honeypots, distributed honeypots. So it's a set of devices, hardware devices or software applications that actually present attractive target for hackers, and they penetrate it. We collect fingerprint about them and distribute this information to our subscribers as a threat feeds. That means, and the people who is participating in the network, they are rewarded with the honey tokens, so it becomes profitable to catch hackers and not to hack. The business model is around selling subscription that is being generated from collecting this intelligence all over the world. And we are releasing the product July 1st. Please make sure to visit our website for all updated information. And thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Vlad. Thank you very much. Sky, Cypherium, you're up. Come on, guys. Get it up there. Let's go.
Hello, my name is Nate Ren. I represent Cypherium. I'm the co-founder and CEO of this company. I have extensive experience in computer science and product development and have been in the blockchain business for the past couple of years. So what is Cypherium? Cypherium is a protocol-level blockchain that revolutionized how blockchain works by tackling some of the biggest challenges faced by blockchain today, namely Bitcoin and Ethereum's scalability limitation, which are clear roadblocks for blockchain's true potential for growth and widespread adoption. Cypherium is the first to achieve a hybrid consensus, combining proof of work with another mechanism called practical Byzantine fault tolerance, which we can increase the transaction speed to thousands of settlements per second, while all retaining the decentralization of security. Cypherium was built by former developers of top tech companies such as Microsoft, Amazon, Tencent, and etc. And it was advised by Eamon Grenshire, a professor at Cornell University and also the co-director at IC3, Initiative for Cryptocurrency and Contract. We were able to start small and move fast. We were able to raise $25 million in the pre-sale rounds from institutions like Pantera and hundreds of smaller investors who believe in our vision. We now are having an alpha release closing soon, and we are going to have a public sale at third quarter of this year. By the way, Cypherium is Turing complete supporting smart contract, and people can actually code in Java, the most popular languages out there. To find out more, please visit www.cypherium.io. Thank you.
Thank you very much. There you go. Urban, you're up.
All right. Hello, everybody. My name is Urban, and I am the head of community at ZeroXCert. So ZeroXCert is the first open protocol built to support unique assets on the blockchain. Now, in order to do that, we use the ERC 721 standard on the Ethereum blockchain. And I'm very happy to tell you that its main author, William Intrican, is actually one of the key advisors to the company. Now, ZeroXCert is way more than just a protocol. It's really a framework for developers to use in order so that they can deploy and quickly utilize these powerful decentralized applications. Now, a part of the framework is also a higher-level standardization layer, so that you can use this higher-level standardization layer for different asset types. A good example is, for instance, identity for KYC, artwork ownership, or even real estate deeds. Right? These are all different asset types, and having them standardized on top of non-fungible tokens, we can ensure interoperability down the line. We also identified that verifying authentic issuers might be a problem down the line. So we built a mechanism which is called the Issuer Verification Registry. And it really works in a decentralized way so that it empowers the community that they can use staking mechanisms to verify authentic issuers or penalize the fake ones. As you might have noticed, we are really building an open source project. It's community-driven, and we're focusing on building out a whole ecosystem. So in that respect, I'm actually very happy to be standing here because we and all of us are at the crossroads between non-fungible tokens and security tokens, which are two trends that are going to dominate the next few years. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Urban. Appreciate that. Oleg, you're up.
Hello, everybody. My name is Oleg Sharpatiy. I'm co-founder of W12. And in W12, we built an open source framework on top of Ethereum blockchain, which makes execution of smart contracts faster, cheaper, and transparent. And it's very important that it's smart contracts for the real business. So first of all, you can protect your investments in ICO using our smart contracts. And so we build like a smart contract that releases funds to ICOs only when they meet their milestone. And it significantly increased returns up to 87 times because it protects you from 96% of ICOs that will never make it. So right now, it's a major problem in ICO market is scam. And only, according to Bitcoin.com statistic, only 3.8 of ICOs are successfully traded. So this model, this milestones-based model, is completely solve all these problems. Also, the implementation of our smart contracts is quite wide, so you can use it in project funding, in construction, in real estate development, in charity, everywhere. And also is quite important that we create a quite unique accumulative model for our own W12 token. And because for ICOs, it will be much cheaper to funding in W12 than in other crypto because they will pay less commission. And so the supply is limited, and we create the model where W12 token will be purchased from exchanges and locked up in smart contracts. Right now, we already have MVP. Our pre-sale is live, and so we are going to create the whole ecosystem until our crowd sale will be finished. So we will be the first project who will make everything ready till the end of the crowd sale.
Thank you, Oleg.
Thank you.
Please grab a seat. Gentlemen, we're going to take about 20 minutes to do some Q&A. Just questions on data protection, the application of AI in your projects. Each will be asked a different question. You got about 60 seconds or less to answer your question. Want to get as much information out to the crowd of your perspective, provide some education, and just take it from there. So, without further ado, I'll start with you, Michael. Michael, because you're running a TGE, because you're pursuing that activity, what challenges do you see your business having to tackle coming out of the gate that are unique to your business, and what measures are you taking to protect your investors and your participants in your project?
Sure. So challenges are certainly adoption of the platform. So we're working hard in advance of our launch in July to bring on partners, both blockchain partners. Big significant piece of building a trusted network is having solutions for storing private keys and providing those solutions with partnerships that do that for enterprises. So adoption of the platform is what protects our investors, because adoption of the platforms means use of the token, which creates demand. So our goal right now and what we're feverishly working on is getting the project launched the end of July. Bring on enterprise projects, and Windmill Enterprise will be, after launch, be an integrator, building applications and services on top, so bringing customers in to drive demand. So that's essentially our approach to ensuring that there's adoption of our platform and adoption of our token.
Thank you, Michael. It's appreciated. Oleg, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
What can you tell us about the applications of machine learning and neural on your project to power the decision-making capabilities that you're talking about for your platform?
So in our model, each token buyer acts separately from others. You don't need to vote. You don't need to have 51% like in the DICOT system. And so actually for every project in our platform, we issue a new generation of secure tokens, and each token backed by fund of token buyer. So if you have this token, you can have two options. First of all, you can send it to our token changer and receive simple ICO project token and sell it in exchange, and so fix your profit. Or if the project not executing, you can send it to the smart contract and receive unspent amount of funds. And in the second stage, we are going to implement the execution of the smart contract will be confirmed by 12 independent oracles, like in our network. So it's like a jury, something like this. It's quite reputable people. It makes execution of every smart contract and can implement it in real business. It's quite cheap. really fast without any third parties. Yeah.
And if I may follow up question, do you apply any learning, like machine learning on top of that?
Yeah,
Where is that applied?
Yes, absolutely. So we are going to put some amount of our own token in this model during our crowd sale when the system will be launched. So we are going to do it around 4 or 5 weeks. Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Vlad, question for you on your platform. So as you come out of the gate, I'm curious at scale here, what are you concerned about most for your investors? What is the danger to your project from outside opportunities? I mean, candidly, Bitfence is painting a target into the market. So, engaging hostile actors. How are you going to manage that?
Yes. So basically, the platform itself is designed in a way so it can, using community, it can scale faster than than hackers, that we're giving incentive for that. The challenge, actually, and opportunity is to get this intelligence, process it using AI algorithms, and provide prepackaged thread feeds that can be implemented into existing channels. So there are already customers who are paying money for thread feeds, enterprise customers, healthcare organizations, all other. And this is something that one of our challenges is to get appropriate sales verticals and the channels to put it in. We are using blockchain as a mechanism to actually automate payouts for our miners. So basically, our system itself is not vulnerable to any hackers or attacks. The more hackers will hack our system, the more valuable and it will become, and the more, I would say, protection we can deliver to all our customers.
Thank you. So you're inviting the challenge and you're escalating your response to it.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's great. Thank you very much. OK. I apologize, by the way. I didn't get your name earlier.
Nate.
Nate, I'm sorry I misheard you. Thank you so much, Nate. Sure. Nate, at Cypherium, I have a follow-up question on this for you. You look at the marketplace. Blockchain is a transformative technology. Its implications are significant in space. What existing AI platforms or existing AI initiatives are in the market that you're pursuing, or have you gone ahead and developed a new machine learning neural thesis for your business?
Well, I mean, our Cypherium blockchain is not so much about the AI itself, but about the scalability of scaling the blockchain to really be able to take on industrial and commercial application. Because, like I said before, the biggest challenge that we address is the scalability limitation. Take Bitcoin, for example. It's like the most successful experiment that we have for a money sending system. And coming out, we have Ethereum with smart contract, which can execute decentralized services. But one of the biggest hurdles is that their speed, because they're going very slow. And because of the speed limitation, a lot of applications just can only be on paper, because when it takes on the real world, it was just too slow to process anything. So our work here is really to address that very issue by using a hybrid consensus. At the same time, maintaining the decentralization, because we use the hybrid consensus, we're able to scale things really fast. But at the same time, it's still being proof of work, so we have the aspects of check and balance. So things are in check in terms of decentralization, that being one point. And also, our platform is Turing complete, which means we support smart contract. This is also not an easy thing to do. A lot of platforms support smart contract. I mean, like Ethereum, there's a lot of application on it that uses smart contract, but the smart contract itself could be very error-prone. Like if you make a mistake, the potential could be very disastrous. So we're really trying to make these things, fundamental things, good and right. So it's not so much about AIs and like the chips and machine learning things. I mean, those things could certainly be a topic that we can explore in the future. But at this current point, we're really focusing on getting the foundation solid, so we can have a platform that people can use on a daily basis.
It's a hell of a good answer. Thank you very much. Good round of applause. Thank you, folks. Irvin, I see if I get 2 claps out of this. I'm going to try it for you. So my question to you is actually really simple. I'm going to go back to the data side of the conversation. Looking at what your project's doing today and recognizing all the innovation that's happening in the space at large, what practically and functionally is your business concerned about in terms of managing data, hosting data, curating data, and ensuring that it's protected as an asset across your platform?
Sure. So thank you very much for the question. We, as a protocol, we don't deal so much with the data side itself. We do leave this open-ended for developers to choose their services that they require or they would like to use. But furthermore, what we really like to do is, so we use the protocol in that sense that we hash the data. So we create conventions for different asset types and hash those and place a token, a unique token, into your wallet, for instance. Now, this is definitely a data side problem that we're addressing, and we try to use zero-knowledge proof here. So a good example is identity, which I gave before. Identity is really something that is quite a hot topic in the blockchain space, KYC, for instance, and having that zero-knowledge proof token identifying you as who you are, verifying you, is actually a very powerful thing, at least given the feedback that we get.
Thank you. Very helpful. Oleg, I'm going to turn to you. The theme of this conference is, of course, security and security tokens and its implication. How does your platform ready itself to tackle that problem, and what are some of your thoughts from you and your team on that space?
So I'm really waiting about regulation on security tokens, because this is the future. So with security tokens, we can implement our model to funding any project. And so we are already working with lawyers and find a proper jurisdiction, maybe in Switzerland, where we can have the bridge between crypto, from crypto to the real world, and so like to transfer tokens and shares and all deposit and everything. And it's very important that we can allocate inside of our smart contracts any amount of project tokens. So we can sell 1, 2, 3, 5% or 10. So all this amount will be protected.
Excellent. That's very helpful. Thank you. Vlad, quick question for you. Looking at all in the marketplace at large and the news that's consistently coming out on a variety of breaches and break-ins happening across the international markets, what's your position on this as a business, and what steps are you taking to protect your business as a whole? What is your optics in the community, and what is your business doing about that?
Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, but it's basically, this is what kind of made us to create this company. So this is the kind of the landscape of information leaking, stealing, and I would say things getting compromised both in private and public sector. It's extreme right now, and especially in the blockchain. What we react on that, we actually have a number of solutions that can scale from a basic like home user to protect their own computer and their router, their home network, to enterprise, and actually to a blockchain wallets as well. And basically to the things like a WordPress plugin. So you install a plugin and you basically kind of getting benefit from all the intelligence collected from all countries in the world about the hackers. So so in short, we are ready to embrace this challenge, and we have the tools and the power to do that.
Excellent. That's very helpful. Thank you. Nate, same question for you. Taking into account what's actually happening in the marketplace at large, recognizing what's happening in terms of breaches, break-ins, theft, and understanding that your business is participating in a space where that's something you have to be prepared for. What are some of the thoughts coming out of your business on the marketplace at large? What kind of banter are you having in the office about this? And what kind of policies are you putting in place to protect your business?
Well, the ICO space, as you can see, everyone is more or less worried about the regulations and the SEC and stuff. So in that regards, we're actually taking very precautionary steps to everything that we do. So for example, for the token sale, right, for the ICO, we never really conduct a public ICO before. What we had was a private sale. We have no solicitation. There's no advertising. Hell, you can't even find a registration form on the website. So we're like completely muted in terms of the advertising aspect. But we do have vibrant community, and people talk. And when people talk and people hear about us, they are interested. So without doing anything, we just keep receiving hundreds of thousands of email inquiring about the opportunity to participate and whatnot. So we follow that procedure very strictly. We do not take, for example, we do not take any US participant in the private sale, although strictly we could, if they're a accredited investor and fill on this category and whatnot. But in order to make it very careful, we have limited all of that. So before that was a private sale. So for the ICO, if we were to conduct one, we might conduct it in the places where the legal framework allows it, such as Wyoming and Bermuda, but it's still under our considerations. The thing is, when you're doing business in this space, you want to be extra careful and always, study the law and watching the regulation, maybe consulting with the law firm to make sure to take the right step for you. Yeah.
Excellent. That's very helpful. Thank you. So, Michael, question for you on this end. Going to switch gears just a little bit here. We're going to go back to the bigger theme of the conference. What are some of your thoughts on the implications of security tokens to the marketplace at large for ICOs and token generation events?
Security tokens at large? Good question.
Please.
Well, we spent a lot of time thinking about our token. We call it a token, not a coin. And, of course, we have hot and cold running SEC attorneys telling us what we can say and what we can't say. I think there's a real challenge going forward with ICOs transforming. We're doing a token generation event. We're not using an ICO to raise money to go build something. We're using it as an opportunity to issue tokens for customers to use. So our token is designed as something that customers use to secure an identity on a network, establish a secure node on a network, and establish services on a network. So I think the main challenge is that the token can't be construed as a security. It has to be construed as something that's useful for a function on a project or a network. Can't really talk about other tokens. I think it's a very challenging thing to navigate. I think each project is unique. I think we get a lot of advice from our attorneys, what we can and can't say, what we can think about and what we can't think about. It's a tough road to navigate, and I think it's really every project needs to look very carefully at how they structure their business and how they structure how that token is going to be used.
That's very helpful. Thank you. I'm going to go to you, Vlad, as we go down the line here. So, same question for you.
So the thing is that we want to generate, and we're generating token that can be immediately used to purchase in our application store. So you can purchase as thread feeds. You can purchase a miner. It's a small device like a Raspberry Pi computer with a special firmware that can be plugged into the wall, and you kind of start participating in the network. And I agree, the key is communication and I would say constantly working with your legal team to understand all the implications and of what you can, I would say, advertise, what you can't, what you can disclose. But the landscape, the goal is to have a real product. So what really hurts most of the ICOs that basically claim that they have utility token is that there is no utility. And that's having a real product, I think, is your best bet to be compliant.
It's helpful. Thank you. I'm going to go to you, Nate. Quick question for you. Looking at the distribution of utility tokens that have, kicked off the whole trend around ICO and the emerging sector of security tokens, do you have any projections in your mind as to what those splits are going to look like, say, in the next 24 months? What kind of implications security tokens will have as they impact ICOs in general, and what that'll do to push down maybe pressure on utility coins?
Okay, so there were differences between security and utility tokens. So for our platform specifically, our platform is actually a utility token because by definition it is used to execute smart contract. Well, different application has different perspective when it comes to the token, because some of the services, they might use the token as a means of purchase, and that might fall under the security category, because by definition, the security is something that investor put money in hopes that it gives some return in the near future. This is a very broad definition, but that was something brought up by the SEC. So in that regards, a lot of these tokens could be classified as security. The thing is, but if we're already having a product built, so in our case, we already have a test net, we're going to have alpha releasing soon, so the token is already there, so it's not in accept form, which is a future token. It already exists, and it is used for executing smart contract and nothing else, and that makes it entirely utility tokens, and that's really compliant to all regulations. So when you're speaking of security and utility, the law keeps changing, but you really have to be careful when it comes to the definition of your product. What does it do? So yeah, that's the gist of it.
Thank you very much. Urban, same question for you, please.
Yeah, so my background here is a little bit different. Me and the project ZeroXert is actually based in Slovenia. Slovenia has a fairly different regulation standard when it comes to tokens. To give you an example, you cannot issue a security token in Slovenia. It is absolutely impossible. Issuing a token in Slovenia will deem you being a utility token, which is great, right? But still, we have certain rules and regulations that you need to follow. As he said, for instance, you need actual utility at the day of sale, right? Which is great. But as I said before, I think that 2018, 2019, going forward, security tokens are going to be a very big thing, especially dividend generating, maybe equity holding security tokens. I think that's going to be great. We are really waiting for concrete laws, regulations to come out to adhere to them. But for us, at this moment, being incorporated in Slovenia, it's fairly straightforward. We're a utility token. We have defined utilities, and we're actually happy with that. So.
OK, thanks, Urban. Oleg, you've got about, let's give you 20 seconds. I think holding you tight. But we'll give you a bit of an extension. We'll give a couple more minutes, a minute on top of that. So go ahead. What's your position on this? What is the emergence of security coins doing in the market? Where do utility coins stack up as the marketplace changes in the next 12 to 24 months? What does that look like in your end?
I think so. Right now, there are no room for such amount of utility tokens because so actually all of ICOs try to raise money and issue tokens for this, and they try to find a solution how they will implement it. And right now, what we have around hundreds of ICO projects, and only a few that have real cases of implementation of tokens, like. And so that's it. And because the token model is quite good for funding projects, but and so that's why the security is the real form that should work. And we just need to find the proper way of how it will be regulated, so that will be quite safe. Maybe to implement our model of smart contracts for funding, and so that's it. It will works, and we can discover a lot of talented projects that can create additional value and discover new disruptive technology, and to give as access to opportunities for everybody from the planet, from every place. So it should work like this, and I really believe that we can see the first steps in the near future.
Excellent. Oleg, that's really appreciated. What I'm going to ask everyone to do is take a good look at these faces. We've got Michael at Windmill. We've got Vlad at Bitfence. We've got Nate with Cypherium. Urban with Oxert, and Oleg with W12. They'll be here for the next 2 days. Make the time to go say hello, introduce yourselves, find out more about what they're up to, what they're doing, ask good questions, get good answers. And that's the panel. Thanks so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.